Have you ever wondered why there's a piece of Russia sandwiched between Poland and Lithuania completely separate from the rest of the country? Well, in this episode of Weird Borders, I'm going to explain why and much more fascinating history. Kaliningrad exists because of an incredibly important European country that no longer exists, Prussia. Prussia gets its name from the Old Prussians, which were one of many Baltic tribes. The Prussians were one of the longest holdouts of paganism in Europe, and in order to bring them to Christianity, in the 10th century the Pope commissioned the Teutonic Order, a Catholic military group, to conquer them. As a reward for finally conquering the pagans, the Teutonic Order was given all of the land, becoming the state of the Teutonic Order, which lasted for a few centuries. The Teutonic Order was known as one of the most powerful militaries on the continent, involved in many crusades. This reputation would later follow the Prussians who succeeded them. Along with crusades, the Teutonic Order fought extensively against the Polish. And in fact, in the 1400s, the Polish-Lithuania Commonwealth conquered the Teutonic Order, bringing it into its empire, although this only lasted until 1701. In 1701, the Kingdom of Prussia became independent, and although it wasn't this big yet, it was still a formidable power. For almost 200 years, the Prussians, shown here in gray, were one of the most powerful empires in all of Europe, sandwiched between the French, the Austro-Hungarians, and the Russians. After centuries of Polish and Teutonic rule, there was essentially no Old Prussian left in Prussia, and had been completely replaced by ethnic Germans. Because the Prussians were so integrated with the rest of Germany, they decided to integrate the rest of Germany with Prussia. And because these other parts of Germany had basically no control, the North German Confederation, founded in 1867, was all but in name Prussia. In 1871, the rest of Germany was brought in, and they formed the German Empire. And although in name it was German, in governance and in actuality, it was really Prussian. As evidenced by the fact that every single German Empire emperor was in fact just the King of Prussia who was given the extra title. The German Empire, Austria-Hungary, and Italy joined forces to be the Central Powers in World War I, which of course they lost. After World War I and the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, Germany lost a lot of territory, but in fact all of this territory had formerly been Prussian, including land given to Denmark, Belgium, and Poland. There was, however, one small part part of Germany. Known as East Prussia, it was sandwiched between Poland and Lithuania, if that sounds familiar at all. Of course, Germany went ahead and lost another world war, eventually losing the territory of East Prussia. In fact, the Allies completely dissolved all of Prussia following World War II. What remained of East Prussia was divided into three parts, the first being Polish, the second Lithuanian, and the third being held onto by the Russians themselves after World War II. In order to get the warm water port of Königsberg, the Russians kept the entire territory, but they did rename it after Russian President Mikhail Kalinin. In the 1950s, Russia offered Lithuania control over Kaliningrad, although they refused because Kaliningrad was home to over 1 million Russians, roughly a third the population of Lithuania. In the next episode of Weird Borders, I'm going to talk about why time zones don't follow state or straight lines. So follow if you'd like to see that. Thanks for watching.